Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining for the very first The Confident Autistic Live with audio. I, I am Chris Mitchell. I hit the button twice. And again, there we go. Let's move to the next slide. This is the Confident Autistic Live. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining for the very first my ears. So this is Autistic Live with audio. So if you joined me last night for the official launch of the Confident Autistic Live, which was supposed to be last night, Thursday, November 14th, you saw wonderful PowerPoint slides. You heard very poor audio, which I would just like to apologize for that because I am so embarrassed. Okay, for a guy who likes routines, has structure, here's the embarrassing part. Studied and worked in radio for several years. You would think I would know better than before I start talking to make sure my microphone is working. I am so embarrassed. But we're here. We're doing it tonight. We're doing it again. And I got to tell you, you didn't get to hear it last night. It was a great show. Probably the best I've ever done. Well, at least in my opinion. And who could argue with me on that? Because nobody heard the show. So I'd like to thank the people who are joining right now. Pika Boo from Pennsylvania, welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. Glad that you are here. And we start off every episode of the Confident Autistic Live with a rundown of what we shared on the videos this week. And while I'm doing that, you can get prepared to send in your questions. Any questions you have about any of the videos I did, suggestions you have for a video, or any questions you may have in the chat, and we'll get to those in a little bit. But this week, some of the things that I have done are published, and here I come, is the first one was the 57 Autistic Traits. This was a 3-part series. Because I recorded the whole thing, all 57. I went, this went an hour. And people do not have the attention span of an hour at times. So I broke it down to 3 parts. And the reason I shared this with these 57 of my autistic traits with you is because of the fact I wanted you to get to know me better. And I wanted to, I am Chris Mitchell, and I hit the button twice. And I wanted to share with you and inspire you to create your own list. I'm sorry, something came up on my screen. I get easily distracted. Anyway, because the importance of sharing or creating your own list when you're in the phase of your life where you suspect you're autistic, it kind of helps you feel like I'm not an imposter. This is real. I'm collecting information to support my suspicions. Then, when you are in the phase of your life where you are self-identifying as autistic, you will have proof to yourself and validation that this is not made up. This is totally awesome, totally actually happening for you. And then if you decide to take that step to seek a late in life diagnosis of autism, and you go to a professional like your doctor or counselor, whoever, and you say, you know what, I suspect I'm autistic. I self-identify as autistic. I like to get screened. There's a good chance they're going to ask you, well, why do you suspect that? Why do you self-identify as that? And for some of us, that could be a very stressful question. But you have that list. It's going to help you answer that question and be prepared to answer that question without anxiety. So like I said, this was a 3-part series that I did part 1, part 2, and part 3, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then yesterday, I shared the 15 benefits of routines. For most of us on the spectrum, we like routines. We like normalcy. We like predictability. So I shared the 15 benefits of routines. Why they can help us, how they can help us. I'm on the spectrum. I also have ADHD, which whenever I tell anyone that, no one has said, I'm surprised to hear that. That is just, blows my mind. Now, and so I want to have routines. I try to have routines, but I struggle with my ADHD side. So I am going to be working on developing a routine that's going to have a routine for the time I wake up in the morning till the time I go to bed. So this is something I'm working on. And the first video in this series is about what the benefits are. And coming up, I'll be doing a video on how I create a routine and with some advice on how you can create a routine. So that's what's been happening this week on the channel. But let's take a look at the numbers. Now, last Thursday night at about 7 p.m. Central Time, we were at 145 subscribers. This week, Thursday night at about 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time is not tonight because this is a redo because last night had such wonderful audio quality. People requested me to do it again. We're at 155 subscribers. So if you look at the subscriber count right now at the channel, it is higher. So we got 2 new people today. But in the 7-day period, we're measuring, we received 8 new subscribers. Our goal for this channel, for our channel, is 1,000 subscribers. That means we need 845 more subscribers to this channel. And it's our channel. And when I say it's our channel, I don't mean that in the business sense that it's our channel, like hashtag define yourself and the people who work with me and support me here. Our channel means yours and mine. You're part of this channel. You're a very important part of this channel. I always say at the end of many of my videos, I always say, if for you watching these videos, I would be sitting here talking to myself, and I don't need to do that any more than I already do because that's one of my stems. So this is really our channel, and this is why I'm doing these events on Thursday nights. I want you to help me build the channel and make it something that will help late diagnosed autistics or anyone who self-identifies as autistic or suspects they're autistic, have a resource, have an outlet to learn more about autism and to discover resources and services that are available to them, and give them recommendations on great books to read, as well as how they can embrace autism confidently. That's the mission here. And the way that you can help it grow is by liking videos that you watch on here, sharing the videos, subscribing to the channel. And when you subscribe to the channel, don't forget to ring that bell to be notified when when I upload a new video or when I go live, like Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Central here in the US of A. And commenting, because when you like, share, and comment and subscribe, that tells the algorithm at YouTube this is good content. And then it goes and tells everyone else. That's how we grow this thing. And you're a very important part of helping the channel grow. And when I say in the beginning of a video, I appreciate people watching the video, especially our new visitors. I truly mean that. And I'm very humbled by everyone's support of this channel. So thank you so very much for your support. Now, let's see. We are now going to the Q&A. So I'm going to take a drink of water. I get dehydrated. And then I'm going to look at see what's came in the chat and comment on them live here on the video. So if you're joining us live, hey, I'm reading your comments. If you're watching this in delay and you comment, I will read your comment. I may not respond to it, but I do read each and every single comment that is posted to this channel. I say that all the time, but I truly do mean it. I do read each and every one of them, and I truly appreciate them. So let me take a drink of water, and then I'm going to take a look and see what y'all have been saying in chat. Now, I have my phone here that has the chat up on it. So let's see what we got here. Thank you, Peekaboo, for saying it's okay that I did not have the mic on last night. It was a great episode. You really missed a wonderful audio. And you missed it last night too. Okay, great. I am a late diagnosed autistic woman. I feel like an alien. How can I feel? How can I find my tribe, my community, or their online discords or support groups? Yes. When I started going through my self-identifying as autistic, I went on Facebook. Now I hate social media. Okay. You hear me talk, you're going to hear me say I hate social media because it's so overwhelming for me. It's difficult. It's social interaction, which I'm not good at back and forth. I'm great at this kind of interaction and taking your questions. Because like I said, I worked in radio. This is something I'm passionate about and studied. So I can do this. But I'm not great with social media. But I joined a lot of groups. What I did was I searched Facebook and typed in the word autism, and then I typed in the one autistic, and I found a lot of groups. Now, the ones I was looking for were groups with the phrase late diagnosed autism in it, or late diagnosed autistic, or autistic adults, autism in adults, words to that effect. Because there's a lot of groups out there. They're wonderful groups for parents who are autistic, or parents of autistic children, They're wonderful groups, and yeah, I think it's great. We have resources and support groups for parents of kids that are autistic. Children are our future. We need to have those kind of groups. That's where I started. And then I went on YouTube and I started looking for YouTube channels that talked about autism. And I subscribe to many of them. Now I participate more in conversations, one on this channel because it's mine and I should, and two in the groups that I'm in on Facebook and all. I've asked questions and I commented and when I first started doing that, and I was in that part of my life where I was suspecting I was autistic, I remember saying to myself, probably out loud, I remember saying to myself, I have found my tribe. And it fit so wonderfully. It was a wonderful experience for me to feel that connection with other people who could understand what I am going through and how I am feeling. So, yeah, look for those kind of things on their Discord. I've heard of some. I'm not on one at this point. I can't be on every discussion group that's out there. Otherwise, I would never get any work done, and you would not see videos. But I'm sure there's some out there. When I run across some, I will share them in my new Facebook group, which is called Autistics Embracing Autism. I will provide a link to that shortly, probably after the video. I will put it into the video description. Let me see. Let me see if I can find that real quickly and send it to you. Because of the fact that here we go. If I can find it and put it into chat here. Give me a moment. I'm looking. Gotta go over here. I'm looking. I'm switching accounts on my Facebook from my personal profile to my business profile. And that takes a little moment because right now I'm doing so much on my computer. My little computer is like, when are you going to take a break? But we're doing fine. Okay, going to groups. Here we are. It's a small group. We just started the group and all, but it's there, and I'm going to be building that up as well. So here we go. I just put it into the chat here at this meeting, so you can go check that out at your convenience. So I hope that answered your question, Peekaboo. If you have any other questions, give me a shout out. By the way, I want to share something with you. I mentioned in a video that one of the things that comforts me is I collect and like having stuffed animals around me. I mentioned to the monitor to my left, I have a stuffed animal on top of it, a little golden lab. I love golden labs, they're pretty. So here he is. I'm holding him up here. Let me get over to the right screen so I can see it. Yeah, here he is. This is the little doggy that I have up there staring down at me, and his name is also Peekaboo. So you share a name with a stuffed animal that I named in my office way before I even met you. So don't get too big of a head. Okay, let's see what else came in on the chat. Let me turn this up. Oh, great. Thank you for the thumbs up to help with the algorithm. Social media isn't for good for my RSD. Now, I'm not sure what RSD is, so if you can tell me what RSD is, I would love to know what those letters stand for because I'm still learning a lot of letters. But yeah, social media can be difficult, and I'm hoping that what we're doing here on the YouTube channel will make it a little bit easier for you to interact with me and other people within this channel, and maybe more of a comfortable environment for you, because you gotta figure out where your tribe is. Maybe social media is not your thing. That's fine. It's not mine either. Maybe you're better with some groups. There is a group I went to, and I don't have a link to it right now. It's ran by the guy, and I think he goes by the actually autistic man or something to that effect. And he has these free events. And I went to once a month. I went to one for people 40 and over, and it was a Zoom meeting. You didn't have to be on camera. It's very laid back, and they discussed a different topic each month. So it's a really fun format. If that's more comfortable for you, that might be something you look into. Maybe you can get hold of a counselor, find out, or do a Google search if there's a in-person meetup in your community, whatever is comfortable for you. Social media is not for everybody, so I hope you do find a way to connect with people within our community. Uh, Rejection sensitivity dysregulation, dysphoria order. Okay. Okay, it's on my phone when this is up there. They have a little icon where I can push a little heart button, which I'm not going to do because I don't want people to think I'm flirting with girls because I'm happily married. But so I had to move that. But yeah, okay, that's what that is. Yeah, I do have some trouble. I don't think I have RSD, but regulation, rejection sensitivity. I do struggle with that at times. I have trouble communicating how I really feel because I'm always afraid of somebody rejecting my feelings or questioning me. I This is going to be in the video next week. And I don't know if it's rejection as much, but the what happened is I went to the barber today, and I'm going to be doing a video on the experience of getting a haircut as an autistic adult. That'll be next Friday. And she was talking to me about Thanksgiving and asked me what I do on Thanksgiving. And my wife was with me, and we shared that we don't do much. We just hang around the house and have pizza and stuff. We don't have family gatherings, so it's no big deal to us. And then I thought I should probably ask her, um, what's she doing for Thanksgiving? I didn't because not of rejection. I'm going to get to the rejection part in a moment, but because then she's going to say something, and then after she says something, how do I react to it? What's the appropriate reaction? I don't really have like a script for that, so it was a little uncomfortable for me. So it was a little bit challenging. The other thing that I want to mention about rejection is I may have something I want to tell someone, especially if it's bad news. When I volunteered in the ICU, I sometimes had to tell families they can't come in right now and see their loved one because of a medical procedure going on, whatever. And I always was frightened or uncomfortable that they might get defensive or not accept that answer. So I had to do this for my job. So I learned to tell people bad news, like if they can't see the relative member, family member, and saying, no, you can't come in. I softened it by saying, unfortunately, you cannot come into the unit at times. Made it more comfortable for me, and it was a little softer of a blow and more compassionate for them. And I never had anyone really get upset at me because I told them they couldn't come in. But I was afraid of that rejection, afraid of someone overreacting or when I was younger and dating, man, I had a lot of rejection sensitivities and fear of it. I was born with multiple disabilities. I was visually impaired. That's why you see me when I look at my cell phone and hold it close. I'm visually impaired. So I had a white cane and on. Then I had a incomplete spinal cord injury. I was engaged at the time, but I was always afraid to ask people out girls out when I was before I got married. I don't do that anymore. Trust me, I don't. I love my wife. So that was always a concern for me, and then even asking people for favors. Even as a kid, I would ask my mom, "Can I go outside and play with my friends?" And my mom would say, "Go ask your dad." Now, mom, I usually can get a yes out of. Dad was harder. So I like, oh, forget it. I did not want to ask my dad questions because I was afraid of rejection. And his rejections were not like, oh, no, not right now, son. His came with a lecture. So I do have rejection fears. Let's get back to the chat and see what's going on here. Yeah, that's a good topic. Okay, I assume you're going to mention about getting a haircut as an autistic adult. I assume that's what you're talking about, peekaboo. And doing everything in public is overwhelming. A lot of things are for me in public are overwhelming. Interacting with people, small talk is not one of my fortes. I don't like it at all. But a lot of things are overwhelming. What's overwhelming to me is light in public, sound. When I go to the shopping, I usually have Bluetooth headphones on because I'm so sensitive to noise and sound. And one thing I don't like is sudden noises. And if you're a mom, don't take this rudely. I cannot stand kids that are screaming and crying in stores. I have to remember I'm in public and I would never do this, okay? I wouldn't. But just my frustration because the noise is so upsetting to me, I want to scream out, somebody get some duct tape for that kid. Duct tape a binky in his mouth, whatever it takes. I hope I did not lose audio. Let's find out. I moved the cord here and I got to make sure I do not lose audio because I think my microphone's having trouble. Okay, let's see. So yeah, so noise and sound light bothers me. And when I'm assuming we still have audio, I'm still checking. Uh when because there's like a 10 to 20-second delay here. I also get overwhelmed when I'm in the store and I turn my head a little bit. You turn your head slowly, most people, it's okay. If I turn my head slowly, imagine being spun around real fast. That's how quickly items come into my line of view, and I get overwhelmed by all that. I go into the store. This is the true story. Okay, my audio is working fine. Great. I went into the store. My wife sent me to the store and she asked me, will you go to the store and get me some crackers? And she told me what kind she wanted. I went to the cracker aisle in the store. And you know, there's a lot of different kind of crackers out there, hundreds of them. And I started having an epic meltdown because I was getting sensory overload, too many choices. So I had enough common sense to pull this guy over. He worked at the store, right? And I had my wife on the phone. I said, "Look, my wife wants some crackers. She's going to tell you what she wants." He was terrified when I handed him the phone, but he got me the crackers my wife wanted, and I got my backside out of the store and back home to her with the crackers. And now this is like 20 years ago. Nowadays, if she sent me to the store, many stores like Walmart and Target have apps. So what she does is, I want you to go and pick up these crackers, right? She will put that into the cart on the app, which is synced on my phone. Then I go into the store. I have an image of what it looks like. It tells me what aisle is in. I can find it and less meltdown. So that really does help me with managing some of my sensory overload I have in public. Uh, And small talk is worth. Yeah, I hate small talk. I did a video on this, I think, recently. Yeah, it has to be live because I'm all caught up on video production. Where I mentioned that I've been told a great way to do small talk is saying to someone, it's kind of hot outside today, or it's kind of cold outside today, or yeah, it looks like it's going to rain, or today's Friday, if it's Friday. Well, it actually is as we're recording this. And I'm like, I don't know why I would want to say that to someone. Why do you tell somebody something they already know? Sounds pointless to me, so I don't understand it. Then people will start small talking with me about something that I have almost zero interest in. And I'm sitting there thinking, how do I get out of this? What do I say so I'm not rude? Because I want to say to them, gee, that's fascinating. Could you tell me more about that later when I'm not here? That goes through my mind. And there have been times I have blurted that out. And you know, I mentioned in some other videos, I don't get sarcasm in real life. I do on TV, but I'm a very sarcastic person. I can be. And I'm very blunt. And this is probably why people think I'm British because of my bluntness. I never understood why, but it is. Let's see. I am very sensitive to light. I don't like so many choices. Very overwhelming. Yeah, I can agree with that. We have satellite here. I don't like TV, okay? Because TV makes a lot of noise and it disorientates me in the house. My wife, who I love, and I talk about in my videos, she has stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. So she has a TV on 24 hours a day, and it helps distract her from the discomfort and what she's experiencing for cancer. So I can't take that away from her. I really can't. I wear headphones at times, but I don't want to do it all the time because she says she does not feel that she's connected with me when I'm in the room with headphones on, and I get that. So I I don't wear them constantly, but TV bothers me. We have satellite with 250 channels, all these streaming services, and it's like there's too many choices, and it's like, oh, she can watch whatever she wants. I don't even know what's on the satellite anymore. I don't even know how to use our satellite TV. I don't. The problem with the satellite TV, I tell her, go figure it out. Call the satellite company, whatever. But I'm out. I don't even touch a remote, which is kind of weird because guys like remotes. Let's see. I have a problem with I'm gonna try something here. Why is it okay? I have a problem with uncertainty. I've been very unstable since the election because I have no idea what's going to happen. You're not the only one feeling that way, okay? There's a lot of people who are feeling anxious in our community, and specifically, and in the disabled community as a whole, and probably some people outside of it. This is probably a normal thing, especially if the person or the issues you wanted to go a certain way did not go a certain way. Now, I have a rule here. I do not speak specifically on politics because that's a great way to lose 50% of your audience. So I'm going to speak generally. I don't want to share my political views. If you want to share yours, that's fine. But I will not get involved in a political conversation in deep detail. But I will say that this is a very uncertain time. A lot of us are very scared. A lot of people are very frustrated with the outcome of the election and disappointed. But this is probably common in every election, maybe more amped up because for those of us who were not supporting the person who won the election, Donald Trump, and remembered the first term of his election, we feel anxiety. But we did survive the first 4 years, and I believe that we can do that again. I know that he is a problem for some people in our community because of the incident in 2016 where he publicly mocked a disabled reporter with cerebral palsy by flapping his arms and making crude imitation of the reporter. And the arm flapping is kind of a stereotypical, if not a stigmated sign of autism. And that did rub many people in the disabled community. And I know people outside the disabled community who were rubbed the wrong way with it. And a lot of the thoughts and things he has said, he has been considered very controversial. And it is going to be an uncertain 4 years. And I'm with you on that. I'm uncertain too. After elections, a change is coming. This is what's going on. We autistics don't care for change that much. We like predictability. We like routine. And that is going to be different. And we're going to be falling into new routine, new predictability. And that's always a stressful time for us. And one thing I'm recommending and I'm doing is I'm finding ways to stim more. I'm playing with my needle ball more. That's helping me. I'm trying to listen to some great, soothing, relaxing music. I have a playlist I'm building here on this channel of relaxation or uh, sensory friendly music for autistics. And so I do watch those videos. I like the tranquil pictures. I like the sound. I have a Spotify channel that I really love that has calming music for autistics. And I listen to that, and that helps me during times where I feel a lot of anxiety and stress and some depression. Whether it be an election or watching a sporting event, when the person you're voting for, rooting for, or team loses, you usually feel a little sadness and depression. I'm sure the Yankees fans are not all that happy they lost the World Series. Some people say the Dodgers bought the World Series, but we won't get into that. It's a normal thing that we go through. It's struggling, it's difficult, but just find some way to manage your anxiety and stress. Stress, sensory regulation, stress balls, whatever it takes. Do that, and remember. And one thing I tell people to remember this: the things that you felt before that were overwhelming and you overcame, that's building strength for you to overcome new challenges. We all went through 4 years, and 4 years of Trump being president. And if that is what's causing you anxiety, another 4 years, you survived it once, it's in you to do it again. And you need to know you're not alone in the camp feeling a little bit anxious and uncertain about the future, especially after this election. That was a great comment. I appreciate you sharing that, because that's been a topic I wanted to talk about, but wasn't really sure how to approach it because I don't want to offend anyone by discussing politics. Let's see. The last came in, so let me figure out where I was. Problem with the uncertainty. Yeah, we talked about that. You're blunt too, huh? Okay, people think I'm being confrontational or rude. I get that too. People do that. I'm aware of it. It's been pointed out to me multiple times, occasionally by my wife. So I do tell people at times I can be blunt. That's part of my autism, part of who I am. Please don't take it personally if I come across this blunt. I'm not meaning to be rude or disrespectful to you. I do give people heads up. It's like I have a warning. I come with a warning label on me, and that's kind of helps the situation. Uncomfortable, rude. I'm so sorry about your wife. Cancer does suck. Yes, it does. She has stage 4. We've known this for about 3.5 years now, 3 years and 7 months, and she is doing fine. It's metastatic stage 4 metastatic breast cancer, and is in her bones as well. We have been very fortunate. She is doing well. She does have a lot of pain in her back and her some of her bones at times. We're not into chemo yet, but unfortunately, that is on the horizon. I believe we will be entering chemo, whether it be in a pill format or actual chemo, in 2025. We just saw the doctor, and we are on the page that we'll like to get through one more holiday season at least without being into chemo, because I know chemo is going to change everything even more. And that's been very difficult for me. We talked about change a little while ago, and how difficult it is for us on the spectrum. And this has been a major change for me, um, because she's now on long-term disability. She's home all the time. I love her, and I don't want her at home, but that's a change. We don't travel. We used to travel all the time. We used to go out of town on Christmas to a hotel. We pick a hotel, go there, and spend Christmas there. Then around midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, we would go downstairs and give um, big, the big cans. You get them at Walmart, full of popcorn, different flavors of popcorn, to the hotel staff, and thank them for giving up their Christmas to be there to take care of us. That was our tradition, and we're not able to do that anymore. So it's been a lot of changes, and it's been very difficult. And the uncertainty of cancer, just like the uncertainty we may be feeling after election, is very overwhelming to me. And I'm sure if anyone else has is on the spectrum and has a loved one with cancer, or they're battling cancer themselves, they're probably experiencing the same thing of that uncertainty and nervousness that it causes. And let's see. I have a problem with uncertainty, transitions, and random situations. I I have trouble with transitions if they're unexpected. Okay, that's not one of my good things. Not great. If I initiate the transition, I do pretty well. But if somebody else does, I sometimes um, bulk about that, and get really. I It's a word I learned from my wife's grandfather. May he rest in peace. Uh, Miscabubulator, which means I just get all out of sorts, and that would happen to me. And random situations. Not exactly sure what you mean by random situations, but for me, there's some situations that just are overwhelming to me that just happen. And maybe that's what you mean by that. But yeah, those get to me too. Something happens for no explained reason, and I'm going goofy. It just bothers me. And I feel overwhelmed, and I want to go into shutdown mode. And in some situations, I want to, but I can't, because I need to be fully there. And it is a challenge for me. I can relate to that. Unfortunately, one of my no, it's not. Unfortunately, maybe you're saying that to be nice, like I did earlier. The example to soften the blow. But no, be proud of whatever your special interest is. If your special interest right now is politics, dive into it, embrace it, get to know as much as you can about it. And that's another community you may want to connect with people who are also deeply interested in politics. But the warning I'll give to you is this: you probably want to connect with people who are deeply into politics, who share the same political opinions as you, because politics is a very, very controversial issue. I have my own political views. My mother, who shares a house with myself and my wife, she's on the opposite side of the spectrum. And you see it on All in the Family. It's an old show from the 1970s, where Michael and Gloria. Gloria was the daughter, and Michael was the son-in-law, Archie and Edith Bunker. Michael and Gloria were more liberal Democratic, and Archie was more Republican and conservative. And the battles that they have were funny on TV. They're not all that funny in real life when you live in the same house with two different political views. So it can be very difficult, because you get involved in a political conversation with someone, more than likely you're going to have someone challenge your beliefs. And if you have trouble, and I'm not putting you down, rejection, sensitivity, this could be a very stressful conversation to get into. So if you want to embrace it, that's fine, but I would embrace it with caution because this could be a landmine you're going into and it could cause you a lot of anxiety. At least that would be my fear. Let's see. Let's see. You're trying to distance yourself in stimming a bit. Okay, that's great. Uh, One of my stims, I talked about this in a video recently, is talking to myself. And I did this as a little kid. And my mom came in my room, heard me doing that. And she said, "You gotta talk to yourself. People think you're crazy or whatever, right?" So I started suppressing it. And I would only do it when I was alone and all. And then one day I thought, this people think this is weird. I'm going to stop. I'm just going to go cold turkey. And so I did. I said, I'm not going to talk to myself. And I sat quiet for about 30 seconds, maybe a minute. And I went nuts. I went, I can't do this. So if you want to try to suppress your stims or reduce them, that's fine. But remember, they're there for a reason. They're there to help you stay regulated and stay focused. And, it's sort of like if you take away that stem, you may be tipping over the apple cart. That's a metaphor, meaning that you may be causing more harm and more stress and anxiety. So if you want to dial back on your stimming, may want to do it cautiously. This is my opinion, not a professional medical opinion, and monitor and see how this is helping because your mental health, your self-regulation and being able to thrive in a holistic world is much more important than you giving up a stem because people think it's weird or different, because you need to find your way to regulate yourself, because truthfully everyone stems, even holistic stem, we just do it better than they do and we should be proud of that. We should embrace it. I have no problem in public stemming with my needle ball. It does help me. In fact, this being next Friday's video, I left my needle ball at home today when I went to the get a haircut, and that was the biggest mistake I made. I I was all over the place. I was very anxious. I didn't know what to grab onto and fidget with and all. It's a very uncomfortable situation for me. So yeah, I'm very comfortable with this in public. I guess part of the reason I'm comfortable, it does help me. But other people, when they see me doing this, may think, oh, he's just doing physical therapy for his hands. So it works out for me. So yeah, if you want to cut back your stimming, good luck on that. But just remember, you want to make sure, this is my opinion, you want to make sure it does not cause you more harm in self-regulation by giving it up. Thank you for all the encouragement and positivity and solutions. Well, they're suggested solutions. They're not actually a solution until you try them and they work for you. But yeah, I do appreciate your feedback. Thank you. Thank you so very much. And the community will be here for you. I can't imagine how hard it is. Thank you for sharing it with us. Well, thank you. I'm glad you are here for me. I'm glad to be here for you and everyone watching this live or even in replay. That goes for you as well. Let's see. A random situation might be something unexpected. Yeah, that's what I kind of thought it was. Something unexpected comes up. And let's see. Another special interest right now is aliens. Ooh, my favorite alien is Alf. I love that TV show. I just had to throw that in there. I love Alf. That's great. That's another special interest of yours. Right now, my special interest is learning everything I can about autism. I was at this event, an autistic event, and it was an online Zoom meeting, and they asked us to introduce ourselves and what our special interest is. And I told them my special interest is learning everything I can about autism, being a person who is late diagnosed autistic, and then share, instead of driving my wife nuts with everything I'm learning, I am sharing it on my YouTube channel. And so that's my special interest right now. But and throughout life, so our special interests can change. And so, yeah, special interest can change. You can have more than one. Not everyone on the spectrum does have a special interest. And let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, not, no, not funny in real life at all. My whole family has opposite political opinions. Yeah, so you can relate to what I'm going through. I find myself not expressing myself or my beliefs around them and just letting them talk. in our family, what we have done is I don't discuss politics with my mom, and my mom will not discuss politics with me because we both know that we have different political views. But the important thing is, for me, is this. I don't want anyone to tell me how to live my life. Okay. And I will not tell anyone else how to live their life. I respect everyone's opinions and beliefs. And that's why I believe the channel is going to be a success. I don't care if you disagree with me. As long as you're respectful, I don't care. I respect your opinion. You have a right to your opinion. Everyone has a right to their opinion. I have a right to mine just as much as you do. As long as what you're doing is not hurting yourself, physically hurting yourself, mentally hurting yourself, or physically hurting someone else, or mentally hurting someone else, uh, it's none of my business. Do whatever you want. I don't care. I mean, I haven't shared this on the videos yet. I don't think that much, but I'm a man of faith. That back here, it's kind of hard to see because of the lighting. I have my favorite scripture up there, and I am a Christian. But I don't care if somebody is LGBTQIA plus. Doesn't matter. Everyone can live their life any way they want to, because I don't want someone to tell me how to live my life. And I'm not, and because of that, I'm sure as heck not going to tell someone how to live their life. I may give advice, but I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. And that's important. We need to respect one another. They have a right to their opinions. And yeah, you may let them talk and you're holding yours in. You may feel like I should say something, but you're taking the higher road instead of lowering yourself to get into a conversation where you're going to feel defeated, rejected, discriminated against, and you're going to have hard feelings and maybe even upset family dynamics that are important that you get along with certain family members. So I'm going to go to the chat one more time, and then we're going to move on and wrap up tonight's event. Okay, great. You do stim in public. Awesome. All the time. I like stims that I can use with my hands, fidget with, something quiet that won't draw attention. That is awesome. I'm looking for something on my desk. My desk, oh God, my desk is a stress point for me because it's so cluttered. I also have a fidget spinner, and I use this at home. I don't take it with me in public that much. I have an emergency one that I take with me, which I also left at home today. But I don't use this in public too much because occasionally I get so into spinning, it flies out of my hand. And I'm afraid of it hitting something and breaking something, which costs me money when I'm in public, or hitting someone and hurting someone else. Because I don't want any of my stims to hurt anybody else. But I do stim with this at home. I'm somewhat careful because I really did not want to buy a new computer monitor. But this is one of my stims, my fidget spinner. So I do have more than just my needle ball. And they both help. So I want to thank everyone for participating in the chat. I have a few other things I would like to share with you real quickly before we wrap up tonight. And let's get those up there for you. Here we go. And coming up next week on my channel, on Monday, we'll be starting a 3-part series, The Benefits and Risk of Suspecting You Are an Autistic Adult. Now, while I'm going through this, if you have any suggestions for a topic you'd like me to do in a video, put them in chat. I will read them offline. And who knows, I may use one of them as a topic for a video. And if I do, you'll get a shout out on that video for suggesting it. So on Tuesday, we're going to continue the 3-part series discussing the benefits and risk of self-identifying as an autistic adult. And Wednesday, we're going to conclude the series with the benefits and risk of receiving a late diagnosis of autism. These are things you need to know about no matter which stage you're going through. You need to know the benefits and the risk of it so you can make wise and informed decisions. And next Thursday, we're going to talk about how to survive family gatherings as an autistic adult. Because remember, Thanksgiving is 13 days away. We need to get prepared for that. So we're going to do that. And next Thursday night, I'm on the wrong screen. Next Thursday night, we're going to be talking about Thanksgiving preparation for autistics. And I'll be inviting you to share what has worked for you, how you prepare, what are some of your best Thanksgivings because you were prepared, what were your worst, so we can share, learn together, and maybe help others that are at the live event prepare for and survive the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday. That would be next week. on a regular night, because I remember to turn on the microphone. It's a good thing. And that'll be next Thursday night, November 21st, 2024 at 7 p.m. Central Time here in the great US of A. Yes. So thank you again for joining me tonight. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. And again, thank you so very much for the support of the work that I'm doing in this channel. It means a lot to me. Have a great weekend.